Hello dear listeners, welcome to today's podcast. If you are new here, my name is Tess and today I would like to talk a little bit about tarot cards. As probably many of the people heard about tarot cards, but there are a lot of myths surrounding tarot cards. So whether you are new to tarot or you may have some experience with that, I hope that you will find this episode interesting and helpful. So let's start with some basics about tarot cards. A tarot deck has 78 cards and each card has its own picture and also own meaning. And the whole tarot deck is divided into two main parts. The first part is called Major Arcana and the second one is Minor Arcana. The Major Arcana, it has 22 cards that talks about important life events or very deep spiritual lessons you may experience throughout your life. And some of the Major Arcana's cards are quite well known. It may be the Fool, the Lovers, the Tower, or the World. And you probably may have seen some of the cards from Major Arcana on different, some jewelry or as some kind of prints. I know that nowadays tarot cards are a little bit more popularized when I compare it to the past. So the Major Arcana, I think, is well known, or it's more known than Minor Arcana. And Minor Arcana, it has 56 cards and they're all divided into 4 suites. The first suite is Cups, then Pentacles, Swords and Wands, and each of the suites, it represents different parts of life. So the Cups are all about emotions and relationships, then the Pentacles are more about the money and career, the Swords are all about thinking and the problems, and Wands are about the creativity and maybe action you may take. So maybe you're now asking how do you use tarot cards, because some people, they think the tarot cards can tell exactly the future, but tarot cards are actually here to help you think about your life and just to make better decisions. So when you, for example, draw a card or a few cards, you can look at some possible outcomes and get advice about your current situation you may have. So let's talk maybe about a simple 3-card spread, which is very great for beginners. So if you're someone who is starting with tarot, this 3 simple card spread is very great, and it's past, present and the future. So you shuffle the deck, you also think about your question or your problem you are dealing with, and you draw 3 cards. Let's imagine now that you asked about, let's say your job, and you will draw 3 cards. For the past, it will be 8 of Pentacles, then for the present, it may be Ace of Wands, and for the future, maybe 10 of Cups. Let's imagine this situation. So the past card, the 8 of Pentacles, it in general shows hard work and learning, and in the past position, this card may represent that you have worked very hard on your dreams and you work very hard to build your skills and your career. And then when we are talking about the present card, which I said Ace of Wands, so aces in general, all of the cards in aces means new beginnings, and wands, like I said before, wands are all about the action and the creativity. So this card may suggest some new opportunities or new projects that will really excite you right now and that you can use your creativity to build this upcoming project. And the future, I said, what did I say? 10 of Cups. Yeah, in general it means happiness and harmony, and in the future position it may suggest that if you will continue on the current path, you will find happiness and satisfaction in your job, because as we said, you ask about your job. So you can very easily combine these 3 cards to give you some outcome or to just have a small idea about how you can actually use the spread to just a little bit tell you or to a little bit predict, but in very small direction, predict your future, because future is changing all the time and you have different paths you can take on and it will all just change the future. So you are living right now in the present moment, but like I said, the tarot cards can a little bit guide you on your journey. So this 3 card spread will not tell you exactly like what will happen, but it will just give you a story or like in a general guidance, like how can tarot cards or how you can make better decision, and you can also think about your journey. So now we can, for example, like I said, the first card in tarot is the Fool, and it's the card from Major Arcana, and the Fool is number 0, and it also represents completely new beginnings and taking a little bit like step forward on your journey. And also the pictures, if you are now going to Google the Fool card, or if you have a deck around you, the picture usually shows a young person who is standing like at the edge of a cliff, and he is like ready to jump into the unknown and just, you know, to jump off this cliff and leaving the city and leaving everything behind. And often this person has a small dog, and this card is just encouraging you to embrace new adventure and trust the journey, that you, even though if you don't know the journey and you don't know the unknown, the path will be successful, because you just need to trust, you just need to embrace the new adventures. And even sometimes you just simply don't know destination. And also when it comes to tarot decks, many people ask like how to choose your first tarot deck, or how to just choose the deck in general, because there are so many different designs and each design has very unique art, and all of the tarot cards are on a different themes. So I think that the most important thing if you want to choose the deck is that what feels right for you, the pictures you are drawn to. You know, the Rider White deck is the well-known, it's the most suitable for beginner because it has a clear pictures, meanings. You can also see a lot of symbols on the cards. But for example, my first deck wasn't Rider White deck because I didn't really like it. My first deck was Gifted, and it was all about ancient Egypt. So I just randomly got my first tarot card deck. But if you are trying to find the deck for you, you just need to be really pleased by all of the pictures, because you are going to spend a lot of time learning the cards, you are going to spend a lot of time learning the symbols. So you really need to have a deck that is very suitable for beginners and which is not very, I would say, minimalistic, because there are so many beautiful decks over there which are quite minimalistic, and it's quite hard for beginners to pick up all of the symbols and the meanings of the cards. So really focus on the deck that will have quite a lot of symbols, and you will be able to read a clear picture from the cards. So for example, some other popular decks for beginners may include Thoth Tarot or Wild Unknown Tarot. So you just may spend some time looking at different kind of decks and see which one you like. Then you can also compare them, and if you have some kind of mystical shop in your city or in your area you live in, just go there and just see how the cards feels when you are touching them. Before we finish our small podcast, let's talk a little bit about intuition in tarot reading, because while I think it's very good to learn like the traditional meanings of the cards and all of the symbols and numerology and astrology behind it, your intuition is actually very important. I think it's the main part of your reading journey, because if you pay attention to your first feelings and thoughts when you see a card, sometimes it is leading you towards, you know, to give the right reading for people, or to just see the right meaning behind the cards. And sometimes, for example, a particular image or coral may give you a little bit more extra insight, or even you can also see how the people on the cards have their facial expression, how they are like looking to which direction, who is around them, and you can really see a lot of symbols on the cards. So that's why it's very important to not pick minimalistic cards, but to choose cards that have a lot of images and a lot of symbols on them. To just quickly summarize our small podcast, tarot is a powerful tool for thinking about your life or getting some kind of general advice, whether you want some answers about work or love or your just personal growth. The cards can offer you valuable insights and help you to just navigate your path with more like confidence, and you will just maybe also feel better if you will see some kind of positive guidance towards the path. So thank you so much for joining me in this short podcast episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, or share it with your friends. And stay tuned for more episodes when we will explore other spiritual topics and also wellness topics, as I am very into wellness, spirituality, self-growth, and everything. Until next time, thank you so much.